Yo, and welcome to round 2, Prague Bombers versus Gungathal Sabres. I am one of your commentators, Oggy or Oggy Reno, and I'm here with the lovely Beaver.
Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here. Very excited.
Oh, excited is true. Okay. This is gonna be a crazy match here. You know, we have literal saber-toothed tigers versus like a plane. How the fuck is that gonna happen? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, okay. So both teams, 1-1. They're in it. I have unconfirmed news that Sabres might have destroyed me my team during the first round.
I can
yeah.
definitely confirm that. I was an audience member for that match. Should be a pretty competitive match. We have two very different teams with very different strengths and weaknesses here, so should be exciting.
Absolutely. So just for if anybody here can't read, I'll just read it out for you. Prague Bombers includes Phobos, Turk, and Didde, and the Gungathal Sabres has Aleppo, Remo, and Eisen. There's some big names there. Oh, we've started the band pick. Okay, we're actually in here now. Okay. So Team 1, Bombers will go for the first band or first 4 bands. Let's see what they pick here. Let's see. Okay, so 2-1, 2-8. Okay. 3-6 and 4-4. Okay, that's an interesting pick right there.
So they get Gauntlet off the board. The Gauntlet fans will be upset about that, but not a bad ban.
Kind of interesting how they don't ban 4-3 instead, but they ban 4-4. 4-4 is pretty much, I would say, like a community favorite in Sly 4.
Yeah, I think that likely, given that Phobos will likely be their Sly 4 runner, I think that's mainly to like rely on Remo, perhaps banning 4-3, and getting rid of 4-4.
Oh.
But Remo doesn't. Remo gets rid of Remo's team gets rid of 4-5. Actually, so 4-3 is still on the board.
That's a ban on 2-4, 2-5, 3-5, and 4-5. Oh, first pick is in by the Sabres. They've picked 3-1. Okay. Now this is getting interesting here. 3-1. First we get to see that, I believe. Oh, another pick coming in from the Bombers. 2-3. That's a classic in the ACES competition. Let's see. So now we're just gonna get a double ban from Sabres, then a quad ban from Bombers, and then the last pick. Let's see what they decide to pick here, or ban here, I mean. The thing is, if Phobos is going to be the Sly 4 runner here, which is presumable, having 4-2 open here, it's kind of scary, you know? I have personal experience with Remo in 4-2, which I assume is going to be their Sly 4 runner. That's a scary one.
And 2-2, and I believe 2-7 as well was the other one that just disappeared. But for Sly 2, we're down to just EP6 is open, but still 3 open for each of the other 2 games.
I'm always hoping for a 2-6. That is one of my favorite episodes. Just good vibes. Oh, we have the 4 bands have come through. 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, and 4-3. Okay. I am assuming the Sabres are gonna pick 4-2, given Remo just had a smashing record previously. So we'll have to wait and see here what they decide to pick.
Well, they could really go either way here, because Remo also got a record recently on episode 1 of Sly 4, I believe. So, either one, well, really any of the episodes, he'll be pretty comfortable. Now, 4-2 is certainly the harder episode between these 2 options. So 4-1 may be more reliable, but they go with the 4-2.
This is gonna be a match of the centuries right here. Okay, so now the pick order is coming through from Bombers. can be beneficial for them to be able to pick the order here, but personally, I would say that like the order doesn't matter that much. You know, it still comes down to the gamers behind the wheel, you know. And also shout out, behind the wheel of this stream, we have the Gandhiman, in case you wanna target some messages.
Yeah, shout out the Gandy man.
Also shout out Americans waking up for this match. 10 a.m. I hear. That's kind of crazy. Oh,
So the Bombers
picks have
have
come through.
submitted the order. We got 4-2 up first, followed by 3-1, and then 2-3. So in reverse order by game. Now I do know, I know I don't know if this is still in play, but I know at least before the match, there was actually a gentleman's agreement set up that whatever episode Remo would do would be the first one because of his schedule for the day. Because that was the only way they could make it work. So
Yeah,
I think
well,
that may
also,
have contributed.
yeah, talk about scheduling. I see Turk corrected me there in chat saying 8 a.m. because he's on the west coast, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I hear from sources Turk has like a standard like 9 to 5 job, so I guess it's not that bad. On a Saturday though, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's it seems like the Americans in chat, especially the one called Even Stevens here, might be struggling given the time. But the EU and the Australians, we're thriving right now. This is a perfect time for us.
And speaking of the chat, we got some subs to catch up on. Avatar, thank you for the tier 1 resub for 21 months to the Sly Gold's Twitch channel. That's a lot of months, very much appreciated. And Augie Reno, tier 1 resub, 25 months, even more months. Thank you, Augie Reno.
Yo, shout out to Ogirino here, that's a good guy. Not glazing at all, don't worry about it. Anywho, so now we're essentially just waiting. There's a little minute left here for the timer to go down before the match starts. The runners are getting ready, you know, putting on their fisticuffs, getting absolutely ready to smash out a insane match here. So, let's see here. This is I'm not sure what I expect. You know, Remo coming first versus Phobos. It's definitely kind of how can I say? I would say it's like the show of force, like, you know, the two best players on each team. However, Alapo is not a bad player. He's a pretty good Sly 3 and 2 runner. Very consistent at that as well. So, might give Turk or Didde a run for their money. But given the other matches prior to this, I would believe Turk might do Sly 3 and Didde might do Sly 2. So it's gonna be Diddy Eisen and Alapo and Turk, presumably. Just based on, you know, personal experience. Played this team again. I still have PTSD from that. So we are now ready to go. Oh, a little bit late start here, but that is fine. They are pretty
And we're
close.
underway.
Okay. Remember, guys, you can play bingo during the ACES competition. Get your personal bingo card from the following link and start playing. It's in the chat right now. Click, click, click. Shoutouts. Huge. Huge. So, 4-2. Going in hard here. This is a great level. Good vibes. All around. Currently have
Now,
audio on Team 1.
Episode 2 is unique in the sense that the optimal language is Spanish for this episode, which is new. It's newly Spanish. So we got both runners in Spanish here. Recently there was a skip found that shook up the optimal languages for this episode. So it's now Spanish instead of being German. Pretty even start here. I think accommodating for the stream delay. Remo's gained about a second here so far.
Let's see here. So they are, you know, obviously this is very early in the match, but they're pretty neck and neck right now. Just a few meters or feet behind, you know, if you're a feet enthusiast. Sorry, that's a classic joke. EU joke, by the way. Shout out. But yeah. Also, killing that salamander, not a fan. You know, we don't want lawsuits from PETA going in here. But yeah, Sly is a criminal, so I guess it's fine. This is essentially just going to be, how can I say, run, skip cutscene, run, skip cutscene. So right now, not too much that can happen and go wrong. It is a pretty like, I can say, if you know the input, it is pretty good start to a run. It's not too difficult. There is some movement a little bit later here that might set off the difference between the runners.
Well, and already we have a difference in movement because Remo is doing the newer route that I don't believe Phobos has learned, which is the reason that they went in completely different directions there. Now they both got the lollipop, which I believe is rice and bean flavored, if I remember correct.
Rice and bean flavored.
Yeah, I think Murray would like that lollipop.
Yeah. Oh, Phobos barely makes it. Almost fell off the ledge there. Yeah, teams are pretty close now. Remo a slight bit ahead. Could be route, but also a little bit of mishaps. But you know, still close. Both teams really showing their strong side right now. And also shout out Toothpick. Given that the name Toothpick doesn't make sense, but he probably likes toothpicks.
Yeah, shout out Toothpick. He's I think he's grown into being one of my favorite characters in the last couple years.
Is that based on the English dub, or?
Yeah, he's really funny. He's consistently very funny.
Then a question that I just have: you eat a lollipop that's bean and rice flavored?
I definitely would not eat a lollipop that was bean and rice flavored. That sounds quite gross.
You know, you say that, but I'm thinking like right after like a nice succulent Mexican meal, you know, some tacos. Having that as a dessert, it's kind of sweet, but it's also kind of, you know, fits the meal, you know. Could be good, but I'm probably coping. But
Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. I think the idea, like the reason it feels gross is because it just feels wrong. You know, it feels unnatural.
yeah, that definitely breaks some, you know, I can say, human laws to make that flavor. But you know, we don't care anymore. We stole Toothpick's lollipop. Now we see Bentley for the first time in the episode, which kind of sounds like we have played like a lot of the episode, but we really haven't. This is just a second job, and Bentley is going crazy with the boosts here. Very nice route. This job is like, I'm gonna say very. If you get everything like right and you get the movement smooth, it's a very satisfying job.
Yeah, definitely. This job is Jailhouse Blues, and I think it's definitely a standout from the run. Very consistent split, very entirely skill-based split. Very fun.
Yeah. Also, lack of cutscene in the beginning. Well, there's like the chalk talk, but I think no, there isn't. No, it's just literally you jump on the trigger.
You just get sent right into the job. I believe it's unique in that way in Sly 4 that the job doesn't have a cutscene of any kind.
Yeah.
Because Bentley doesn't have anybody to yell at about the plant because he's just alone.
Isn't Murray there?
Well, Murray's still around, but you know Murray doesn't know the plan.
Okay. Yeah, keeping Murray out of the plan might be a good idea. last time he was a part of the plan, he went to get like jelly beans and got caught by Carmelita. Fell at DP6. Let me see here. So we're gonna see some. Well, this wouldn't be a new route for this competition, but for me as an older runner, this is a very new route, and it's very sick. I'm going to go on a limb here and say this was the first big out of bounds found in the game. Is that correct?
You know, I can't remember the ordering on when they were found, but I believe the Cooper for Hire one was found first, which would make this not even the first out of bounds found in this episode. But a little bit of a hiccup from Phobos, but both runners get through the out of bounds skip pretty smoothly. Remo's coming up now on the skip, which makes Spanish faster, and he nails it.
Very nice.
We'll see if Phobos can do the same. This skip is pretty tricky. The hardest part is really the timing of the paraglider against the railing.
Oh, and he gets it. Very nice. Very nice.
Very clean from both of them.
What is it about that that makes Spanish faster?
Yeah. So there's in that room there's a spotlight that's going back and forth, and one shot kills you if you encounter it, and it's pretty much impossible to dodge, except on certain cycles. And basically the cutscene before that is unique because we do a Banakicom cutscene cancel instead of doing a skip cinematic. And that means that the cutscene is just the length of the voice line that occurs in the background. And it used to be that all of the voice lines that were like really fast were kind of capped by the spotlight cycle. But since that skip allows you to not even touch the spotlight cycle at all, the raw length of that voice line in the cutscene just determines your speed in the section, and Spanish is faster than German by enough that it becomes the fastest language.
Well, the slide games really have like that. I don't really see it in a lot of games where languages actually like alter the game in such a way. Usually it's just dialogue, but you know, well, it is I guess dialogue here as well, but more dynamic in the gameplay that things change, which is very nice. Let's see. So yeah, they are essentially like, you know, end of the level, start of the level, this difference from each other, or like part section, not level. So you know, not too far behind. This is still, you know, what's the general quote we use here? You know, anything can happen. You know, there we go.
Anything can happen, but both of them with pretty smooth jailhouse blues. You can definitely, especially in that last section with you know, the one hit spikes, when you're doing the ball and strat. There's a lot of ways to lose a good amount of time in this job, so they both avoided that.
Very true.
But I think Phobos's job in this first leg of the race is just to minimize the time lost to Remo. It's no secret that Remo is you know, the more skilled and experienced runner here, so
Yeah.
he's just got to minimize the damage, I would say.
He's
doing a good job so far.
Hold on, we're getting confirmation from our analysts saying Remo is around 23 seconds ahead right now. So that is a little bit of a difference, but not too much. Easily catch upable. That's a word, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yes. The Oggy vocabulary. Very nice. Now we're heading in with Bentley again. Bentleys are, you know, the
Cooper
oh my
for
god,
hire.
oi
And
oi
Remo
oi.
gets the proxy. Very clean proxy. The train proxies have, I want to say overtaken, but they've kind of gotten overshadowed by other new finds in recent times in episode 2, because everything in Sly 4 has been, uh, turning over constantly recently. There's been so much new stuff. It's been
True.
really, really exciting, but also, also stressful as a runner, trying to stay up to date on everything and keeping everything fresh in the muscle memory. It's definitely an exciting time to be a Sly 4 runner, but also a difficult time.
Yeah, but you know, Sly 4 is definitely the Sly game that has gotten the least new things found. From strats, glitches, out of bounds, everything. So it's nice to see a little bit of a change there. You know, we had a big leap with like, how can I say, the implementation of I believe it was the oh my god, circle boost right after Tituary, the second Tituary, I believe. Um, but yeah, you know, it's been like a little bit dry since then. The gadgets has been like the main focus, I believe, around finding new things and like more time save. But then, you know, shout out the glitch hunters that's gone crazy on this tree. Oh god, it's so beautiful when new time save gets found.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a new gen compared to Augie, but my understanding is that Sly 4 was for a long time, didn't have very many runners. Um, and in terms of optimization, it has come a long way since then. It had absolutely nothing to do with me, but during my time in the community, it's changed a lot. It's
Well,
gotten
you
a lot
say
faster.
that, but the thing is also, you know, sure, Tituary was the one of the things that was created to draw attention to the game and get more people to run it. But you know, it's kind of like a butterfly effect. Hadn't we done that, and you know, just then at that point, like after the teacher areas, Remo was like the main grinder of pushing the time slower. But then, you know, if that never happened, potentially you wouldn't have gone in there, you know. And you always need someone to keep pushing times lower and lower. That also, you know, gives people motivation for both glitch hunters and runners to keep going in the game.
Absolutely. Now Remo's into the hack here. Now, upcoming in the final room of this hack, we'll encounter the largest skip in Sly 4 any percent, which does not have anything to do with a cutscene. So it's the largest gameplay related skip, which was found very recently by Mafioso.
Shout out.
And Mafioso's been responsible for a lot of the finds recently, so he's been really popping off on the strat hunting as of late. Now Remo's health is, at a good amount to go for this skip. I think you can feel comfortable doing it. Definitely with 75, maybe 50 if you're getting into the scary zone. But he should be comfortable here. So
How much does this skip?
He's gonna attempt to clip through this laser on top.
Nice.
And he got it. It
How
saves
much
about
does that
25
save?
seconds.
25. So it would.
It's like
So,
24
so
with, I
that
believe,
would be
some
viable to if you have low
extra.
HP to die and then to go for it, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely still save time. One option that runners would have is where Phobos is right now. You can restart checkpoint.
hmm,
Um, and so you just trade that like transition time, and
oh
Phobos got stuck.
yeah. I guess you can do that without shooting the barrier even a little bit.
So Phobos is gonna wait for these lasers to pop
Nice.
in, and he got it.
Very
Now the
clean.
reason Phobos waited there is because it can be more difficult and or less consistent to clip through the laser when the firewall red dot things are still popping in. Because when the game has like freshly loaded, it takes some time for the firewalls to pop in, like after a death or a restart checkpoint.
Mm-hmm. It's a small detail that you wouldn't normally notice probably, unless for the skip. So I had
Exactly.
no idea about that. But, you know, there's also no reason to know that kind of, except if you see it happen. It's speedrunning is just beautiful. Shout out casuals that think they know more than us. Get in. Come on.
Yeah, it's
If
gonna
you
sound really weird and sexual, and you know maybe it is, but you develop a really like running it, you know, get to know all the little details.
just stop talking.
It's true.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying that's not true. It's just, you know, a little comment in the end about the small details, you know. I just that hits hard, you know, at home. That's good. Oh,
I cut out a little there. Oh no. Well, you know, I have no way of knowing, you know, which parts you guys heard. I'm not, I'm definitely not repeating it. I'm not gonna be able to replicate the delivery on that one.
oh.
Um,
Just a TLDR. So intimate relationship with the game due to speedrunning,
yeah.
and really enjoys the small things. I mean, notice the small things. Oh wow, really hitting the crank shot from up there. I really should learn this game. I think 'cause at this point, like I think the last time I learned this game was the Remo tutorial. It's come a long way since then.
Yeah, so this is another new Mafioso time save. Now this is that other out of bounds I was referring to. So we'll get another look at it here when Phobos goes for it. So he's gonna go for a spiral dive jump on the corner of that upper roof, and spiral dive jump is a new bit of tech um, found by Mafioso that allows you to get just a little bit of extra height against a ledge. The spiral dive basically like catches on the ledge that you're right next to, and so you can in some places benefit from it, like there. I think that skip saves around 5 seconds, so it's not huge, but 5 seconds for most of Sly 4's history has been like an insanely big amount of time because the optimizations have been so small. But I think that's really been changing as of late, um, with so many time saves, and we've even got some bigger ones and also some really difficult ones. So I think the time economy of Sly 4 has definitely shifted a lot in the last year or so.
Yeah. Also, if you're on a little bit lower health, this out of bounds is actually really nice because you kind of you get to spawn again with like a full, fresh health bar, and also you know as long as no one shoots the TNT, you're basically not gonna die up there, and you know very quick to shoot the crankshots out.
Yep.
So I've definitely died going through the corridors of death there. It's not a fun time. Yep, both teams finished Cooper for hire. See now, Remo is heading into the next job of the name, which is Beaver, please.
Oh, this is Saloon Bug.
Saloonbug, of course. Yes, that was my first guess. So now this is a little bit of a sick movement here. Oh, did he? I got it. Oh,
Yeah, Remo got it. Yep, very clean.
beautiful.
You can catch this drop trigger with your toes as you circle boost past.
It's also interesting how the game, once you go through a trigger, it doesn't matter if you're standing on it. So technically, if we had some, how can I say, proxy or flying tech where you could just fly between kind of like bottle crashing, you could hit triggers and go crazy with it. I believe. Am I capping or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the game always has like, there's like definitely always this loading period, but you pretty much just have to touch the trigger, and the job will start. This game is different from Sly 2 and 3 in the sense that it relocates Sly a lot more frequently. So like in Sly 2, for example, if you like hit a job trigger and then like fell out of the map, you'd be out of the map when the job started, like after the cutscene or whatever. But this game resets Sly's position so frequently that you could be pretty much anywhere and it would just return you to wherever you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now Phobos here will be, we missed Remo, but he'll be serving some sarsaparilla here as Remo moves through the saloon. Remo went for the chair jump but missed it. That's a very, very hard jump. Landing on small objects in Sly 4 is really difficult.
Yeah, and
I
people
would
think
definitely call that one of the, I guess, one of the weaknesses of the movement system.
Yeah, the more
Compared to
like
the other games.
floaty
Yeah,
movement. Well, people always said that the episode 1 and Sly 2 chair jump was difficult. They haven't even tested Sly 4. I don't know, even bigger objects, like, I feel like maneuvering, kind of doing like a neutral maneuver mid-air and like tapping a direction to try and like inch yourself onto something is also difficult. It's almost easier to do it in running speed if you like have like kind of like a set timing in your muscle memory.
yeah. Phobos also going for chair jump and also missing it, but we had some different setups from each of the runners on that.
But
Remo now
both
coming
teams
to the end.
also got the binocular cutscene skip, or yes,
Yeah, the Knockcam cutscene canceled, but yeah,
cancel. Yeah, thank
um,
you.
that one is very substantial because when you skip cutscene normally on that one, uh, you relocate like all the way back to the front of the hallway. So that one actually saves 7 seconds because it's
Wow.
the cutscene plus the fact that you don't have to run down the hallway again. So that's a pretty substantial skip for this job.
Yeah. Since we've also gotten more info from our analysis now, it seems Remo is around a little bit over 45 seconds. I had a little bit up there. Um, I had now compared to Phobos, but a little bit more than last time. But it's still, I would say, like, since I played against Remo last time and I think I was like 10 minutes behind him, this is a good hold to like hold back. Remo is one of the best players, if not like the overall, how can I say, best player of all games. Maybe, who knows? Have to see. Maybe you go for that title, Beaver. Who knows?
I think Remo's got me there. But I think in this match, as we'll often see in any Sly race involving multiple games, or any Sly category even involving multiple games, I think Sly 3 will be the biggie here, because the times can fluctuate so much more wildly in Sly 3. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens in this next episode after this one.
I'm also very interested to see if it will be or who will play that. Since it's slide 3, let me actually double check this. Episodes. So yeah, it's 3-1 next. Slide 3, you know, Sabres, definitely Alapo that's gonna take that one. On the Bombers though, I assume it's Turk, but Didde might pull out a crazy one here. Who knows what's gonna happen there? I
Yeah,
do
I
know
would.
that Didde seems to like to play 2-3, but maybe Turk or Didde has gone
Phobos.
crazy.
Phobos got the displacement boost on the way to the job trigger, but his angle was not proper, and so he actually missed the trigger. We'll see if he gets the other one also, and he did.
Oh
But
my god.
again, his angle wasn't proper, so he didn't get the full time save on either of them. I think the first one probably broke even or lost time, but the second one definitely saved time. Very clean. Makes up, you know, a little bit of time because Remo missed both of them. Now the displacement boost is yet another new strat found by Mappiotho recently. New bit of movement tech. Basically, you exploit displacement, which is a property found in all of the Sly games in different scenarios, where Sly, or in this case, one of Sly's ancestors, is attached to a thief platform, but for whatever reason, you know, the reason varies, they're like sort of pushed to the side, or they're standing like, you know, visually they're like off of it. Now in Sly 4, the game, like pretty much immediately will slide the character back into place really quickly. But if you jump on the, in many cases, on the single frame in which the position is being corrected, you'll just jump at that speed, and the speed is often crazy. So there's been a lot of experimentation as of late to find all the places where that's useful throughout the run. And they add up to quite a bit of time save. So even though each of them is pretty small, they add up. So
Definitely something everyone should learn and just try and go for. And you know, if you don't get it, not that bad. But you might want, like, just knowing how to handle it once you actually get it. Because you know, as we saw, I believe it was Phobos that flew past the building because of the immense speed.
yep.
So yeah.
It's definitely one of those tricks that you have to be ready to hit it, or you know, or you won't be able to take advantage of the speed. But you also have to be like ready for yourself to miss it, so that you don't end up standing there awkwardly for too long.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a very percentage-based thing. Nobody's gonna get all of them. So you gotta be ready to miss some of them.
Absolutely. Remo finishing out the job here. Phobos coming into the. Let's see, I guess he has 2 sections left. This one, next one, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Bit of an, how can I say, bit of an auto-scroller with some, how can I say, some spots that is like more normal playing. But you know, with every auto-scroller-ish type job, there is the degree of no time to save, but there's a lot to lose. So it's important that you stay on the top level. You know, the second you can, get on the rail and so on, to avoid losing any time.
Well, and the water underneath Blind Date is a one-hit kill, so it's pretty scary. You know, the premise of getting blasted off by a dynamite thrown by one of the jackalopes. Because you can lose time pretty easily there if you're inattentive to one of the tosses.
Yeah. Shout out to Jackalopes, another team.
Now the
Not
Cooper
in this
gang
match.
has been arrested yet again. So Carmelita and Tennessee will have to bust them out in jailbreak, which is our next job.
Which is also one of the things that are unique for Sly 4, given that we can actually play as the ancestors. Also, shout out to the Carmelita fans. You get to shoot as Carmelita. Not much more, but you know, I guess you guys have whatever you can get. But yeah, playing as ancestors, really cool. Really like the idea by Sans over there. Definitely think that if they made another game, kind of same style as 2 and 3, where you only play as Bentley Murray or Sly, it could get a little bit like, it would get boring because you know all the Sly games are good, but it's a nice change of pace, kind of.
Yeah, and I like the ancestors focus in this game. We get to see them like for real for the first time in the series, and also get to play as them, which I think is perhaps the game's biggest strength. What I like about this game is that there's just so much Sly or Sly adjacent gameplay, because the ancestors play, similarly to Sly.
Mhm.
And personally, I find that to be the most fun.
Yeah, I think Sly is generally like everyone's favorite. You know, he is the centerpiece of the franchise, and I think just Sly being so nice to play in all the games. You know, or let's say 2 to 4, because 1 is a special one, but in 2 to 4, it's really like it's what makes this series so good. It's like you feel stealthy and you feel like almost like a little ninja, and then Ryoichi comes in like an actual ninja, almost, and then it's very very nice. Also the thing in in the end of Sly 3 where we get to kind of quote unquote meet some of the ancestors, except Bob. They scammed him there. Yeah, very nice, very very nice. Shout out to Bob. Yep. In this section, essentially just like auto scroller in the beginning here. That is where you can do some time to the shooting sections. And then with some very very nice how can I say, movement and tricks going on here in the Tennessee sections. So right here we're gonna see Remo start going crazy. Is he doing the
Yeah.
route backwards?
Yeah, you basically, so this section compared to like the casual route is basically you can just backtrack from the start and go in reverse. So you can see here, like you're supposed to go back to the boat through that rope and with the spire points there, but with a circle boost you can connect. With a circle boost you can connect and basically do the job backwards. It saves quite a bit of time, as we got to see play out in your match last time, Augie, because you didn't know what to do there, and you did it
that
casually.
obvious?
Yeah. Oh, it was very obvious. It was actually the first time in years that I had seen what the level looked like up there.
It's such like a complimentary shade. I don't know how to react to it. But yeah, no, I was proper clueless there. So just a little note there for what what was going through my head.
Oh no.
Remo sadly dying there, going for the how to say the new skip here. That is crazy. Okay,
And
I should have done it.
this one I found actually.
Shout out.
Yeah, along with Phobos's
Nice.
help, and I think either Stevens or Bites. I can't believe I can't remember exactly. It was one of those two people. I'm hearing from my guy in the chair in my ear that it was Stevens. So thank you, Mr. Guy in the chair.
Shout out the analysts.
The producer. Shout out the producer.
Still the analyst. We don't have that many roles here. No, we can't just hand them out, you know.
Now Phobos selecting for an alternative strat here, which he feels a lot more comfortable with, and he does it super cleanly. So Phobos actually making up a good amount of time. I don't think, I guess now that I'm saying that, I don't know if Phobos had died right before I looked over at his side of the screen. But if he didn't, he made up a good amount of time there. So the difference now is about the length of this last section of the Carmelita auto scroller. As Remo busts the Cooper gang out of their bird cage.
Very interesting way to like hoist the cage up, you know. You don't really see that often from the villains. You know, usually there's hoisted up, there's like a shark pit under. You know, I guess it might be too dry there for shark pits. But you know, if Toothpick managed to get one of those like lollipops transported from Mexico, you know, surely he can get some sharks put in there. But you know, we just have to hope that we get the shark cages again soon. Shoutouts we don't. That's very sad. So the analysts just called out that Phobos has made up a little bit of time with that, so it doesn't seem like he didn't die before going for that strat. So that is good. Phobos keeping the reins here, you know, always praying the enemy team messes something up. That is usually the best bet, and then trying to go safe, you know. But we'll just have to wait and see. We are getting closer to the end of the run now, so I'm very excited to see who is gonna play next, assuming it's Alapo.
Yeah, we're into the final two jobs here. So first we got Grand Key Larceny up next. We're gonna have to steal 3 different keys by completing 3 different mini games. Certainly not the most popular job in this episode, but as far as bad jobs go, it's really fine, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
First up, we're gonna have a boxing mini game as Murray. We might see an El Drapo from Remo here. Oh, he looks like he didn't buy it, or he forgot. Now you can actually hit that job trigger like 1/10 of a second faster if you use the gadget El Drapo instead of a Thunderflop there. That's alright. Phobos perhaps will have the El Drapo ready and make up 1/10 of a second or so. But I'm not expecting it. Compared to back in the days, the Sly 4 gadget optimization has shifted a lot, as everything has. But there's tons of little gadget time saves everywhere, and with the relatively new rule change, where additional gadgets are now allowed in episode runs for Sly 4. you can see many of those gadget optimizations in a lot of the different episodes. Mainly in the later episodes, though. The early episodes, you know, you don't have a ton unlocked, so there's a lot fewer things.
Yeah. So now we get a repeat of bowling here with Sly. He is in fact bowling right now. Not in the strat, but through the city. You know, it's a pretty, how can I say, pretty simple part. You know, the boxing, I would say, is slightly more, I was gonna say advanced, but you know, not really. Like slightly more to think about, maybe. Here's generally just dodging, and if you have played it before and know the like kind of speedrun route and timings of everything, it should go through pretty smoothly. Only thing I can think of is in the end, that one, I think it's the, if you go the right side, it's the only one, the final TNT can mess you up.
Yeah, everywhere from here until the end, Remo and then Phobos in a bit, they gotta be attentive to where the dynamite is getting thrown, because it can it's completely random, or at least as far as we know, it's completely random. And it can definitely ruin your day. This is a really lengthy section to have to do over again, so that it can become a really substantial time loss.
No checkpoints as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no checkpoints.
Also, this I believe this shooting section is also RNG, where they pop up.
Yep, pretty much
The
completely RNG. Obviously, there's skill in the aiming, but yeah, a lot of RNG and
yeah,
where they spawn exactly.
timing for the 5-pointer and 10-pointer is set by points, I believe.
That was a pretty good shooting section from Remo, though. After a bit of a sloppy start, had a very strong end.
Phobos could save some time here if you get some how can I say, like double spawns, so where they spawn right like back. I can't speak. Where they spawn right behind each other. Also, of course, hitting a minus is not good, but you know it's not that bad. You just need, like, if you get a 5, you know, we're evened. Oh, there we go. Oh, the bird. Okay, there we go. Phobos, the American sniper, as I've heard. Going in crazy here. Also, you want the what's that? Is that the Tennessee or the 5-pointer? You want them to spawn on the second or third row, so they spawn, so you can kind of shoot them instantly as they spawn. But
Yeah, you don't have to turn as far to the left. Or basically, you can't turn far enough left to get the bottom one right away. So, which is why the back one is better.
yeah, Remo also got the proxy there. Very nice, good distance. Now heading into the operation. Let me just see.
We'll see if Phobos goes for the train proxy, or there's also a displacement boost Remo went for on the way to this job trigger, but unfortunately did not get it. But if Phobos doesn't go for the big train proxy, there's kind of there's a very easy, very reliable smaller boost you can get off the train, which he elects to go for there. So he just gets a little push off the train. The train is, you know, obviously a huge moving object that is, you know, both an object on its own, but also, like, you know, a platform for the characters to interact with by standing on it. So the game's physics react weirdly with it, and so there's a few different ways to launch off of it, or like deflect off of it. um, which is useful in some different scenarios. Now Remo moving into the one hack we got in this episode, as Phobos tries to free the van.
Dodging very nicely there.
Yeah, that went very smoothly. I know from talking to Phobos that he hates that section. So that went really smoothly for him.
Yeah, personal experiences. I can't imagine anyone actually liking that section. It is like it's
Yeah.
one of those sections that, like, in theory isn't hard, but it's one misstep and everything goes to shit.
Yeah. And this Carmelita section, the guards themselves are always in the same spot, but the way they move and react to you can vary, so you got to be ready for any differences that might appear. But both runners with pretty smooth Carmelita sections. And now we get to enjoy the alter ego gameplay.
Really a thrilling section right here.
Thankfully, we do have music.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is kind of the easiest episode to lose music in, for whatever reason. But we got lucky today. So we still get music for the alter ego part, which is, maybe some of the best music in the series, although that probably applies in a lot of places in Sly 4. because the music is generally very good. And it does a good job at blending old music from the older games with some newer stuff as well. But Remo will be coming up on the next new skip found by Mappiotho. We got a lot of them today, but I think we're running out. You know, he can't keep getting away with it. Remo's gonna try to get it out of bounds here yet again, and he gets it first try, very clean. Allows you to shoot that button from the start, and then you can just run through the train car instead of having to bypass the lasers. So it saves a good amount of time for that section. As Phobos finishes up the alter ego.
Oh, little mishap there by Remo.
That's a
Think
death
no.
abuse, actually.
Is that
So there's a mishap, though. However, that's not a death abuse. Yeah. So the first death was intentional. The second death was not. But on the second try, Remo gets it very clean. It's
I think
kind
Remo
of a very input-heavy little sequence of movement there.
Oh, those buttons are not friendly to Remo today. Oh shit, that it. Okay, yeah, we're chilling. Don't worry about it.
As Phobos goes for the train car 1 strat. He gets it pretty smoothly, struggling with the button a little bit, but eventually he gets it. Now what's interesting is that in this first train car, there's actually little bats that are flying around, and you can shoot those, and that would like never be relevant ever, except with this new strat where you're shooting at the button from like high up in the air. You have to be attentive to the bats, because they can block your shot or pull your auto aim away from the button. It can be very annoying.
Yeah. We are currently awaiting our the next players to come live. But we see Eisen is going to play Sly 3, which is not something I would expect. This could be very interesting. I would almost expect Alapo to actually go Sly 3 there, because like I'm not sure if I haven't really compared the Sly 3 like skill versus his Sly 2 skill, but I would almost say that Sly 3 might be his better. Not quite sure though.
Yeah, well, I
But
think with you know, with Eisen being one of the newest members in the community altogether, not even, I mean, certainly in ACES, but perhaps just in general. Um, it's best to give Eisen, you know, whatever he's most comfortable with. Um, and he's mainly been running Sly 3. And as far as I know, pretty much has only been running Sly 3. So I think that pick makes sense for them.
oh, and Didde is gonna play against him.
Yeah, it looks like Didde is gonna do Sly 3 episode 1 for the Bombers. I believe Didde has been learning Sly 3 for this event, if I'm not mistaken, because I know that he's mainly been a Sly 2 person in the past. But for the Bombers, he's gotta, they gotta have somebody for Sly 3, or they'd be pretty screwed.
Yeah. That is one of the things that makes this competition so good, is that even if you have a player like, like Remo on the team, it doesn't matter all that much. It all comes down to the initial member picks or team member picks. So, I feel like...
Remo's finishing up.
Here we go.
Eisen is
GG's Remo.
off.
Oh, that's
GG's Remo.
That's a quick change right there. That is very, very impressive.
Phobos still got a bit left, but all in all, a pretty good first leg of the race here by both runners.
Yeah. Only
both played pretty well.
Only one phase though that he has to get through. That's not that bad. And
now switching up to a completely different game here. Eisen navigating to the dome of glazed tile, marking the Venetian police station.
Shout out to the Italian window cleaners. They've gone crazy on the dome. Because apparently it's so glazed that you can't even walk on them a little bit. You just slip right off. That's just
like
great.
Augie's bathroom floor.
True, I guess. So bathroom floor is kind of textured, so it's kind of nice to walk on. No heating cables under it though. Cold as fuck. That's just very sad, But enough about my trauma. Let's go into Sly 3. I don't want to be the guy that points out that something bad can happen here, but it is a race and it is a competition. So this comes down to like knowing about it, and I think like a little skill kind of ish to not hard lock in the police house here on the way out. Believe it's something to do with how fast or how you finish the unlocking the door, right? Something like that?
Yeah. I think it's when you can actually like unlock it and fail at the same time, and then the game just breaks.
Yeah.
Now Sly 3 had a very short development time. It was made in about 10 months, and that's not an exaggeration. It like actually was. So the game definitely I think it lacked polish in a few places. So you got to be careful as a runner to not get screwed over by the potential hard locks in a few places, but
Jim,
But it's still a
mostly
great
in
game.
episode 1, 2, and 3, though, right? I think it's the police
Yeah,
station, the cave,
that's where the
and
locks are. At least,
yeah,
yeah, the spinny locks.
yeah.
Oh,
Very, very
we have a
nice.
raid. We have
Oh,
a raid. Powerman, thank you for the raid. Hope
thank
your
you,
stream
Powerman.
went well.
Shout out,
Oh,
Powerman. Can I
welcome
use
everybody
the
from
command here?
Powerman's stream.
There we go. Oh my god, it works. Ogirino noticing Twitch features that he hasn't used because he hasn't streamed in fucking years. Shout out Twitch. You know. That's about it. Anyway, now heading into the lock of death here. So this is basically just a show to see how to do this. I think from when I was messing around with this, I believe it's like you just basically go very, very slow in the end. Try not to like move too much through it.
So Ison failed on the first attempt, but he got it on the second. Now this incredible language we'll be hearing now for the next hour or so is Dutch, which is the optimal language for this episode, as well as some others in Sly 3. Sly 3 is optimally played in a combination of Dutch and Norwegian. But in this episode, we'll just get to hear the Dutch. We'll hear more of them later, but I'm a big fan of Dutch Bentley myself. Not sure how you feel about the Dutch dub, Augie.
I can only say geweldig taal. That means awesome language in Dutch.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually kind of happy about that pronunciation. Didn't have enough of that in there, but you know, we chilling. It's
Yeah,
good.
I could tell it was Dutch and it was well pronounced because it sounded like complete nonsense to me.
Yeah, for I don't know how this is for the US and English-speaking only countries really, but essentially, at least for me as a Norwegian, when I hear Dutch, it kind of sounds like a German English, like or like a Germanic, so like Norwegian, German, that kind of language tree, mixed with English, mixed with some French here and there. Like it's a very, very interesting language, and it's really nice that we get to see that in the game. Like that is one of the things that is so cool about Sly. I mentioned a little bit earlier about languages like changing the gameplay, but also just having the languages like you have like Avatar, who's Dutch, gets to hear his home language, and then also boom, another home language coming in with Norwegian in the same game, literally made for Avatar if you ask me. But yeah.
Truly. Yeah, Avatar was perhaps born to play Sly 3 in multiple ways.
Yeah. I hear he was born with rocket boots on his feet. That's a very bad joke, by the way. I don't know where that came from, but I was just like, fuck, gadget, Sly 3, let's go, let's find one. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds extremely unsafe, actually.
Yeah.
To give an infant rocket boots.
Yeah, I had another one lined up there, but I'm gonna refrain from that one. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is like one of the things also with Sly 3 is that resetting is a little bit slower to Sly 2 just because they have like the book that opens. Lose a little bit of time compared to Sly 2, which basically just goes straight in there. But yeah, Avatar, that was in chat. That was actually what I was thinking first, but that is actually a gadget in Slide 2. So that doesn't work if you wanna like Slide 3 only gadgets. So yeah, right now, see, wait, ring, what is this? Phone call? Hello? Oh, It's our analysts. They say that there's a 1 minute difference right now in favor for the Sabres, which is, you know, it starts getting a little bit further here, but anything can happen. Sly 3, you know, episode 1 specifically has some cutscene skips that can go a little bit badly. You know, think of Tarball especially here. So you know, if one team misses that and one team hits it, it could be a favor, unless you know, Bombers were to miss it.
Yeah, Police HQ, that first job we did, it's pretty uneventful, but we move in here really quickly to some segments that can make or break a run, and really there's a canal chase is a great example of a job that um, might seem to somebody like it's always the same, or you know, it's uninteresting, but let me tell you, there's a big gap between runners in terms of how quickly they can get rid of the Blue Viper gondola gang.
Yeah, some might say that it might not even be the Blue Vipers, might be the Venice Vipers. Shout out Venice Vipers, home turf. You know, we are sadly not gonna see any home turf matches today
That is
for
true,
any of the
yeah.
teams, but you know, there are some good ones here. So you know, in we had the Cottonmouth Jackalopes home turf to start off. Now it's the Venice Vipers, and then we're gonna round off with the none. I don't think we have any team that has the jungle, but
Now
yeah,
the runners here in this section use um, they use a combination of holding the square button, or I believe you can also use R1, but also mashing that button. In both slide 2 and 3 in a number of places, you can, in segments where you have like a gun meter that you need to try to avoid overheating, you can mash to still maintain like quick firing while also not overheating. Um, and then it's also, you know, trying to like tank damage in places where it's better to stay on the water, but also not taking too much as to die. So pretty tricky job.
and also not something that we usually don't even mention. You also have to dodge while you do this, which you know it's not really that big of a deal. You know, you just have to basically stay behind the Viper you're shooting at. But it can be a little bit bad due to the health you have. So, you know, the more things you hit, the lower your health gets. Generally, people don't really have any issues with that, but it can cause you to have to be very careful and slow in the end if you have low HP.
True. So now Ison will be heading to Octavio Snap, um, which is one of the like primary coin grinding opportunities in Sly 3. Um, Now in the past, that would have been entirely like a full game any percent or 100% thing. But with that new rule change that we also talked about in the Sly 4 section, uh, you can now use additional gadgets. But in this episode, the gadget we're looking at will be Adrenaline Burst, and that unlocks in the middle of the episode. And since it unlocks in the middle of the episode, you have to use coins that you've collected during the run. So there's not a guarantee that the runners here will be going for that strategy, but if they do, their goal will be to get the number of coins necessary to buy Adrenaline Burst, which is slipping my mind right now for Sly 3. It's different in every game, so it's hard to remember, but it's either 300 or 400. But Ison does not seem to be farming, so it seems like he'll be going traditional with Bentley and just rolling the wheelchair normally. I would say running, but that's not really accurate.
Yeah. So you know, generally, you don't want to be taking pictures of people without their approval. But this is a crime lord right here. He, you know, I was gonna say the Opera of Fear, but that's just the name of the episode. But yeah, Octavio. Don't really know exactly what heinous crimes he's been doing, but we know that he's been polluting the canals. You know, Venice is already sinking, so surely that can't be good.
Yeah. Well, and he just, we just caught him in 720p. We just caught him, filling that bird bath with tar, which is, very despicable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't really know. I was gonna say like, because when it's like animal things, it's PETA. What is it for if you pollute something? We have an organization there that's known.
The EPA. Yeah, Ganny agrees with me in chat. The EPA.
Is that not the same as in the Simpsons movie? Epa.
I haven't I haven't seen the Simpsons movie. I've seen a lot of movies, but I haven't
You
seen the Simpsons movie.
you haven't seen the Simpsons movie?
No,
Oh, this is
I
incredible.
I haven't seen the Simpsons. Actually, I've seen a lot of clips from the Simpsons,
Same.
and I've seen an episode here or there. But yeah, I haven't seen the Simpsons.
But I assume you've seen when Grandpa Simpson is on the floor in the church, run like how to say, circling while screaming "Epa, Epa," because he has a vision. And
Maybe,
yeah,
if it's like a meme or anything, if you think I would have seen it, then maybe I have.
I don't know. But if not, spoilers.
Yeah. Now, Diddy getting the optimization there, where he, deliberately failed the job, to sort of like Octavio after you job fail, his position like reset by the game is further along than he would have been at that point if you just let him walk. So you skip his like transition time basically when he's leaving the water wheel. It saves a couple seconds, and it's pretty tricky. It's weird that skip works, but it does. Now Ison coming to the end here.
Ja, met mij. Geef me die technicus eens.
Octavia's gonna get that engineer on the horn.
We moeten zijn telefoongesprek afluisteren, want het lijkt nogal belangrijk te zijn.
Any fans of the Paris or the Ferris wheel here? Very it's a very very soothing kind of music going to it.
Oh, it is. It's very vibey. Diddy electing to go for the preemptive attach here. Now, I'm certainly not comfortable with that.
All depends on how the cycle though, how fast you are, and have been through the job. I think it is a global cycle that keeps us going, or does it reset? I'm not quite sure.
It should
But,
be global based on that would make the most sense.
Yeah, unless it like deloads if you're far away or something like that. But because of the map set, I doubt it. But yeah, essentially nothing bad about doing it. Saves a little bit time, but there is a chance that when Octavio's walking up, if the cycle is a little bit off or faster / slower, you can be spotted by Octavio there, which is very bad. But yeah, it is saving a little bit time there. Usually you would probably never go for it just because of the like you would farm coins in the meantime if it was an any percent run.
Yep.
Closing up here, only like a cutscene in between the runners now. So yeah,
Dit open
see.
huis is Octavio's
I
hoofdkwartier.
saw the analysts calling me. I missed the call. Can the analyst please call me back?
Krijgen bij een van
No,
Octavio's computers.
I heard him. I heard him. We got about a 40-second difference now between the runners, with the Sabres in the lead.
Dat houdt de luik lijkt
Um,
me een ideale manier om binnen te
This
glippen.
next job is Into the Depths, which is a standout job in my opinion in Sly 3. We get a lot of Sly platforming in this job. We got some coin farming. We got fighting. We got everything. It's a good one. So everybody get on your 3D glasses.
Functioneel en modieus. Goed gedaan, Bentley.
Yeah, you can't see our faces now, but both me and Beaver have been wearing it throughout the entire stream.
Yep.
Kind of getting motion sickness here, but you know, anything for Sly Goals. That's the motto.
Deze deur te openen
Absolutely.
moeten we precies tegelijk op 1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah, as swimming in the chat is saying, depth optimizer goggles, which you know is the professional name of it, but it's commonly known in the casual community as the 3D glasses,
Gesynchroniseerde beveiligingssysteem. Aan de
and
slag.
it's been probably
1, 2, 3.
10 plus years since I played the PS2 version, which is kind of sad. I kind of need to do a little bit of a replay of the series on PlayStation 2.
Wauw, met mijn booster red ik het niet tot de volgende deur.
Yeah, you know,
Ik
if
heb deze rolstoel flink uitgebreid.
with the
Maar ik
recent
heb niets
re-release
tegengebracht
of
wanneer ik door dit
Sly
kanaal
1
kan varen.
on the PlayStation
Maak je geen
4,
zorgen,
PlayStation
vriend. Ik vind
5,
wel een manier om over te steken. Zo te zien zijn hier genoeg boten om een mooie brug voor je te
you
maken.
know, people have
Oké,
been
ik wacht al op je teken.
expecting and anticipating that at some point, we're almost certainly going to get the other games, Sly 2 and 3 at least, on PS4 and PS5, and I'll be interested to see if they remove the 3D functionality or not for that re-release.
It would be very sick if they added it, kind of like a homage to the original releases. You know, highly doubt they would start selling 3D glasses again. But if they did, that would be really cool.
I hope they keep it because I would love to. You know, I'm sure like any pair of old style 3D glasses would work.
Yeah.
Since it's just the I can't remember the term for it, but it's just the blue and red filter style. So, oh my goodness! And Didde gets the relatively rare pipe zip right as Ison dies. Very unfortunate for Ison, but if anybody didn't see that, Didde just sort of zipped forward on the pipe. I think Sly's arm like stretches out really far.
Yeah.
And he
There's
just sorta-
a relatively popular clip by THMCS, aka Mikkel, that got that in a run years ago, where he flew much further. Basically, I think to the end almost of it, where he got hit by a fire there. Have we figured out why that happens? Is it a circle press or placement of Sly?
It's probably a specific placement of Sly. I know that in Sly 2, there's at least one example of that vertically, but it's only happened once. Z has a clip on that rope that's immediately right outside the episode 8 safe house and is like 100 feet tall.
Die deur voor je is
Once he just like attached to it and just pretty much instantly ended up on top.
Yeah. Something we haven't said though is that now the Bombers are ahead, which is sure a surprise given the time difference there. A little bit mess ups by Ison, but you know, this is now now this is a really exciting match. As we said, anything can happen.
Zet de horloges gelijk en...
Also, shoutouts to the developers here for making the sparks blue and green, given the characters you play.
Yeah, I've never
Yes.
noticed that.
I assume that is actually what they're going for here, but there might be a coincidence. But yeah, it's really cool if that was the initial thought, like a small like nod to the characters you're
Als jij je
playing,
maar vermaakt, dat is het belangrijkste.
or characters
Well,
you
and
can play.
at the very least, it's you know, the color palette being consistent in a way that's aesthetically satisfying, you know, subconsciously.
Yeah. The well, really all the gang members' colors, even the extra one with Guru and everything. I guess it's maybe Guru and Panda King might be the ones that are like not as pleasing. They're kind of just like dark red and dark purple. But they're very cool as well. Carmelita having gold in Sly 4. I believe that is. Wait, is Panda King gold as well when he's like the circle inputs? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think his interact things are yellow. That sounds right.
Anyway, at least they have a really cool palette going on. The kind of the soothing but vibrant light colors of kind of fitting the character. Obviously, Sly and Bentley's like character colors are a little bit darker than their actual like archer color. But yeah, very nice.
Yeah,
Also being used on slygolds.com, our website. Check out the website. We host community golds there. You can find the color palette on the front page when there is some buttons no one uses to click to certain games. Very nice.
Yeah, the color palette and the use of color in these games is definitely really great. It's very cartoony, very comic booky, but very nice to look at. The games are very colorful, but not overly so, which is nice. Games kind of went through, like after Sly 3, moving into the PS3 era, we went through a bit of a dark time, with a lot of like really gray games, um, including Sucker Punch's next game. So
Yeah. I think just a lot of the games are kind of set in like dark, cloudy environments, which is like kind of like Sly 1 almost, you know, because that's supposed to be at night, which is very prominent really in Sly 2, especially also a little bit in Sly 3, where Sly 2 is supposed to be at like the evening, and on PS2 the games are pretty dark. But let's see here. Oh, he gets Tarball. Very nice, Didde.
very clean,
Bombers get in
perfect
Tarball.
attempt.
Now,
Now that is
yeah.
actually the biggest skip in the game, I believe. Already in episode 1, we just get it right out of the we get it out of the way real quick. In Sly 3, you basically like manipulate the guard's position and try to lead him towards you in a way where he'll run like next to the chair, and then when
Yeah.
Murray spawns for the job and runs also to you, you try to get them to intersect and cause the guard to despawn, which fails the job.
Yeah, and also the reason why that's even possible, like just from the simple perspective, is, you know, because Murray has the fail-safe where if he can't move, they just fail the job to respawn him and retry for any blocked obstacles or any reason, like he might not be able to make it to the trigger. Also, once you hit the trigger, the guard stops on the spot, which is, I don't know, it's something that like is a very normal thing in games, but it's a very, very nice change for us. Also, not the job not having a cutscene or binocular cutscene in the beginning makes that possible.
Ik ben mijn
Which is very, very
niet
nice.
vergeten. Ik speel gewoon met andere kaarten.
Yeah, it seems like
Now,
Iceland's
Ison here
doing,
moving into the Carmelita job. So we might see some Carmelita tech. I can't remember if it has a name. Can you recall if it has a name?
the like death
animation
abuses.
cancels.
Oh,
The animation
the
cancel. Oh,
jumping.
double shots. Double shots.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. We won't hear it right now. We'll hear it real soon from Didde's perspective. Carmelita, when she dies, doesn't have her own like death scream, so Bentley comes in to save the time. Little Bentley scream there. Can't hear it, but you know, if you know, you know. Unless you wait like 30 seconds, 45 seconds now, then you will hear it as well on the screen. So yeah, essentially, job here is just to get rid of the flying goons and then them die twice to basically because the respawn points get set to the where the objective is, which is very nice by Sucker Punch, which makes it possible so we die essentially as the last one is right after the last one has finished dying, and then we will kind of have our most of our death animation or like the drowning animation happen and falling in this cutscene, and you'll see the end of the actual dying animation right here. Because I believe we clipped through the map to the death plane, right?
Yeah. So the Sly 3 has a death plane above and below every map, which is, I think the death plane above the map is unique to just this game. Sly 2 has that in one example, which is episode 8, and also only on the secondary releases. So starting with the Japanese PS2 release, Sly 2, they have a death plane in episode 8. But Sucker Punch at some point, shortly after Sly 2 came out, originally, like learned how their the game system with cutscenes interacts with like falling into things. So the death plane underneath the map just prevents you from soft locking. Which is nice, and here we can abuse it, so it's doubly nice for us.
Very true. Let me see here. I am just going to, if you want to take the reins a little bit, I'm just gonna go up permitted terms and block these intrusive people.
Well, they're not people. I believe they're actually robots, but I get what you mean. As Didde wraps up Turf War, and Ison's in the cutscene for guard duty. Now Ison does seem to be doing a different job order, so we'll have to circle back and do Tarball at the end. It's probably the best strategy to do. So Didde is in front, although Ison is even though it will appear like Ison is. It'll be a little confusing here for the next 10 minutes or so, but I think we'll get through it. Now, we didn't see it from either runner because that would have been insane, but there is actually a way to skip the cutscene that Didde is currently in. It's one of the most difficult cutscene skips in the series. It's very precise, extremely spaghetti. Involves using the cat guards, dynamite attack or whatever it is. It's got a very precise area where it will kill this guard in front of the coffee shop if he stands on top of it. And so if you want to see that skip, you can go to slygolds.com. Another shout out, unplanned but very organic segue there,
Grijp die blauwdrukken. Er kan elk moment weer een patrouille
because
komen.
it's visible in the community gold, the community best segment for guard duty. Now Ison's now on his way to the second coffee shop as Didde moves through the first.
Een koffiehuis met volledige laserbeveiliging gezien. Octavio is echt ouderwets als hij een kluis achter een schilderij gebruikt. Mijn vader brak die aan de lopende band open.
You know, we talk a lot about these paintings, but you know, when I was a kid, I actually for the third coffee shop in particular, I had to write down the code so that I had it on file because I could never find it, which is really funny now looking back. The first two coffee shops I could handle the painting, but for the third one I found it to
Ik zie
be
je bij het
way
volgende
too hard.
koffiehuis. Zodra jij de wacht hebt overgenomen, ga ik naar binnen.
Yeah, it's
Hetzelfde als eerst.
when I set up the files for Sly 3 for this tournament, I actually did it casually, and yeah, the third one is a slightly bit more difficult than the other ones. Really cool idea though by the developers.
Yeah, it is
Include that.
cool, and we get to, you know, the artwork is our locations borrowed from the first two Sly games, which is a nice touch.
Sopraan.
Ja, wat een fijn dat jij er bent. Mama maakte vanavond spaghetti en ik raam op.
Also for any non-Dutch speakers, the guard here is talking about wanting to be buried in pasta sauce. Apparently the pasta sauce is really good, and I can confirm that his mom's pasta sauce is really good. I've been there.
Wow.
Geen problemen met die vent?
Hij wou begraven worden in zijn moeder.
Shout out Mama Langostina.
Ja, dat
Goated.
dat is vreemd.
Anyhow, except from IRL Adventures, Bentley now heading into the cafe, do a little bit, going crazy here. Can he remember the code? That is the question
Ik
we're
moet er
all
gewoon
asking.
steeds aan denken. Heb jij ooit zulke lekkere pasta saus geproefd? Ik wil je natuurlijk niet afleiden of zo, maar ik
Oh.
geloof echt niet dat ik ooit zoiets lekkers heb gegeten.
Do you remember the
Is
code?
wij soms een heel
Oh.
universum aan het smaken?
Oh, that's incredible.
Incredible.
Oké, 2 van de 3 zijn bijna klaar, partner.
But yeah, was gone for a little bit there. Had to handle some moderation stuff and body moderation stuff. But we are back. So I see now Eisen is a little bit ahead of Didde. So, that's, you know, anything can happen.
Well, no,
Weet je,
actually.
misschien zie je ergens een goed
Really?
Italiaans
Because,
restaurant.
yeah, so Ison, I explained this while you were doing mod work, but Ison is doing a different job order. So although it appears that Ison is ahead, he's actually behind. Didde is
Wow.
ahead,
Tenminste verstandig.
because
That-
Ison still needs to do Tarball. It's very advanced.
That is a thing that you almost like. I rigged this conversation. That's crazy. Yeah, route changes, different route orders. You know, I'm not too good at this game, but you know, usually it's either preference or speed. You know, there are some scenarios where doing a different job order could be better if there is a harder skip. You want it earlier in the match or the run.
Sopraan.
However, in this, you know, not gonna matter that much because you don't really have any you can't really reset to go again.
Ik ben nieuw. Ik ben net
Almost like a marathon setting in that sense. Kind of go
Well,
for
and one
all the quick
one consideration is that I didn't see how
Ik moet opnemen. Misschien is
I
het
didn't
de
see how Ison reacted when he left the safe house, but it's possible he just made a mistake and picked the wrong character. Sly 3 always defaults to Sly in the safe house, like hovering Sly.
Een makkie, alsjeblieft.
So if he was just mashing X, he would have picked Sly.
Hey, ken je Tony B's bijnaam?
Yeah.
Tony B.
Also in
Cannoli is een,
for
hoe noem
anyone
je
that
dat,
hasn't
hè?
noticed, in
Regelmanier.
Sly 4,
Ik weet
you don't
niks
get
over
to
hem,
pick.
maar dat wil ik
You
ook
have
niet
to, or
weten.
you can pick, of course, but it's not gonna do anything because you only get one mission at a time or job at a time. But yeah, Didde getting spotted
Most
here.
of the time, at least. Yeah.
Yeah,
Halt!
there's
Wat was het
in
wachtwoord
episode
van gisteren?
1, I believe there's a choice you can do.
Yeah, 1 and 5 are the only
Yeah.
places where
Neem me niet kwalijk.
you have a choice.
Ja, dat is het wachtwoord. Soms vergeet ik er wel eens, weet je.
Heb ik ook wel eens. Hey, weet jij wat de bijnaam van Tony B
Yeah,
is?
it's gonna be interesting to see when they, how can I say, when the jobs line up again after, I believe it's after this job and Tarball. They should
Dat vind
be
ik nou ook.
back at it again.
Zo, je hebt de bijnaam.
Jij daar.
We get to see. Sadly, we don't get to see any of this painting. These runners are actually remembering all the codes,
Sopraan,
which is
sopraan, bas, bas.
very good
Ja.
thing for speed,
Nou,
but very
ventjes,
sad for the
wat is
viewers.
mijn bijnaam?
Definitely.
Kom op.
Also,
Iedereen
would be
komt tot
very
stoom
funny
dat
if
ik
that was
killer
RNG and the code always
bent de
changed, like they had like 100 different
speeltuig
paintings
van
or
hier op
something.
Sicilië.
That could be very
Fun-
cool.
Ik hoef tenminste niet
Funny
te
would
wachten
not.
tijdens
Funny.
het carnaval.
N-
Wie lacht
yeah,
er dan het
neither of those
laatst, hè?
words would
Ik
be
toevallig.
what I would choose for that scenario. Funny
but-
and cool, but
But you're thinking in the views of a runner.
Doe er niet te
I'm
lang
thinking
over.
as for the
Als die vent
viewers, you
terug
know.
komt, ben ik hier weer.
yeah, I
Me and the
suppose.
me and the view homies, we're going crazy. You know, but that would also be kind of like a sick thing, because let's say all the pictures are completely different, right? You would then be able to see the picture and then have to remember the code. So it wouldn't be that bad. But I think that might be a little bit too much for a PS2 game.
I don't know if you saw that, but Sly there actually hit a guard into Ison and caused him to take damage and lose time, which is just a classic moment from AI Sly. As many runners will know, Sly in Sly 2 and 3, when he's controlled by AI, is just a menace. He wants to kill your run. And he'll do his darndest.
We moeten ons
Now
verstoppen in
Ison
de
here,
schuilplaats,
we're doing
want de
Tarball
garage
now.
trekt allerlei
Looks good so
bewakers aan.
far.
Inderdaad.
It's gonna be close.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
Incredible.
Hier zit erop.
Very well done.
Yeah, not getting Tarball here would be very bad. You know, it's a little bit hard to tell who is like ahead now. Gonna assume it's Didde still, but losing that would definitely make that a reality. So that is, how long is that cutscene?
You know, I believe that skip. We may need to get some assistance from somebody in chat, but it does
130?
save a lot. It's definitely more than like 50 seconds. Yeah, Avatar gives us the number of 90 seconds, which is just, you know, currently I'm in Sly 4 mode. I've been running Sly 4 for, you know, last 4 months or something, I don't know. 90 seconds on a single time, that's unbelievable. It's huge.
Yeah, very true.
Ik snap het. Als
So
er
the
niemand
fact that
komt die
both
hij kan
runners
afpersen met
both
zijn
runners
plan om
got
de
it
gebouwen te laten
is very
zakken,
big for their
waarom zou hij
teams,
het dan
because
demonstreren?
that could swing the whole
Commenteren heeft
race.
een heleboel werk, dus hij
Right
zal wel
there.
wachten totdat hij het publiek heeft.
Now, this is something I don't remember well, but is it faster if you fail it to restart and go again?
Yeah, it definitely would be by quite a bit actually, but you gotta trust that you're gonna hit it, I suppose.
Of course, yeah, but that's like the, I can say, the saving grace. Of course, going for it again and then failing it again, and then it's just shambles. But, you know, Ison finishing out the job here, very nice. Getting this job, Tarball, very smoothly. It can be a little bit hard, you know, with the roof properties and such, bouncing you in different ways. You kind of have to have like a nice flow to it to be able to land
Dat
like
explosief was
near
best, hè?
perfectly on all of the tar pumps. Yes. But
Dit
also
bloedt
here we
het
have
beest.
one of my favorite lines in episode 1. Ren, Sly, ren. Vreet het beest. Very nice. Love that line. Shout out Dutch Bentley. Yeah.
So now we have normalized again. we've normalized from the, different job orders here. Now both runners are in the same job, and the difference between them is about 90 seconds with Didde in front.
That's quite a huge difference right there. Really has swayed completely around. The thing is though, that I'm not sure how much Turk has practiced, but I would be inclined to believe that Alapo will have the advantage going into episode 3 of Slide 2. But is that advantage enough to actually be able to kind of come back from that? Don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, because anything can happen. God damn.
Indeed, anything can happen, and in these Sly Golds events, it's always surprising. Somehow, it's still always surprising how the forces at play, be it the games themselves, or whatever it may be. It just seems like fate causes the race to be close, at least
Yeah.
most of the time.
We've had some allegations of rigging the games, but there's nothing in this 24-page document that I received before commentating here that says that we have rigged it. So, haters will hate. Just how it is. But on the real though, I think it's partly that we actually bring interesting events that isn't just an episode 1 race, 1 versus 1, but it's usually either RNG or a team aspect in it, which is very, very nice. Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
generally,
always it's good to have a race with or an event with some element of creativity to it. Makes it a lot more interesting than just like what you said, just doing a straight up episode 1 race or whatever it may be.
yeah. But talk about events and that and have creativity in them. If you have any creative events, please join the Discord and post it in event ideas. We're always looking for more events to have going on here, more tournaments, more maybe relay races, who knows. But yeah, I think one of our staples right now, is like a community race / relay race, something like that every year. So if you haven't already and you would like to participate in any of those, join the Sly Gold event server. You can be a part of the commentator crew. You can be a part of the runners. And yeah, feel free to join. There is, however, sometimes there are set roles, but we will call out if we need anyone to help, and there isn't a particular. I said team, but there's not like one commentator team. Every time we start an event, we send out a form where people can write if they wanna partake in any capacity. So yeah, if you would like to do that someday, be sure to join the Discord.
And Ison nailing the cutscene skip that leads into this final chase segment with Octavio. I believe Didde also got through the cutscene skip smoothly. Sly 3 is a pretty punishing game, and part of why it's so punishing is to skip cutscenes in this game. We rely heavily on a lot of death abuses, and those can be very scary and very risky. Just because you die either way, whether you get it or miss it. And so you can end up losing a lot of time from a small mistake. But both of them do a good job.
Also in
Diddy
this
now into the operation.
chase job, right as it ends out here for Ison, both of the teams got a different guard at the top of the roof for the cutscene skip. And I believe the cat guard is the better one because to get their long range going, potentially. Or is it kind of even because of that, like the flare thing they can throw out?
So the flare thing is like a lot less reliable. And like I think you can kind of get an unpredictable direction when Sly gets hit by the flare
Halt,
thing.
bos, halt,
Mhm.
halt.
So runners
Oké,
generally
blijf
prefer
niet
the
te lang
pigeon
heen, hè.
guard.
Het operaconcert van
Um,
die baas begint er bijna.
if you're a This Is Not Jake viewer, like I am, uh, you might like to call the pigeon guard the penguin guard, which I like to do. Because the
It is a
penguin
penguin though.
guard, I mean, it isn't a penguin, but like we can just pretend it's a penguin. I'm fine with that. But I also just
Mm.
want to recognize that it's not a penguin. But anyway, uh, the
The more I
penguin
look at it,
guard,
the more
the
penguin
penguin
it is.
guard has a spin attack where he like spirals through the air,
Ik herken
and that one is like
Wat is het
really
geheime
consistent.
sopraanwacht?
Because Sly will just like go straight
noord,
out
Bas,
from
van
that
noord
if
te
you
noord.
line it up
Oké,
properly.
geef door
So
aan
that's
de
a very
ambtenbewakers dat er
reliable
geen enkele
attack to
voorwaarde gestoord mag worden tijdens mijn
death abuse with
comeback-concert.
for the cutscene skip.
Dat is goed, meneer. Ik verheug me
It's
ontzettend
also
op uw optreden.
distance based, right?
Zodra ik
If they
klaar ben
go
in de
for the
proefkamer, kom ik naar
if
het
the
podium.
pigeon or the
Eh,
penguin goes for
zou u mij
the
misschien even
flame
kunnen helpen
attack
met deze
and the
veiligheidsdeur met 2 knoppen?
the cat guard goes for the
Graag een handje
that like
helpen.
flare thing, right? I think it's based on like how far you're away from them.
2, 3.
While
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
I believe the cat guard you want to be further away because then they like I don't know what is it they even throw? Like it's like needles, almost.
Yeah, I don't know. You said flare, and that seems right to me.
No, I'm talking about the like the long range, the multi light, where they throw like 3 in a row. But is that a flare as well? Because the flare one, I'm thinking like the kind of the grenade they drop on the ground that glows.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's definitely a flare. The other one, I don't know.
Moet de pomp zijn
Yeah.
zuigkracht verliezen.
Goed, als we
Anyhow,
100 bewakers
it's
aantrekken,
you have
zullen
to
we het vrij snel
adapt
doen.
essentially.
Jij
That's
bent bezig
the
met de andere teerpijpen. We
that what
moeten
we're
op
talking
schema
about here is
blijven.
that you have to adapt given the circumstance what you get because it isn't set. You can literally do 2 runs in a row or 3 runs and get like the same or different guards there.
Ga door met de teerpijpen.
Just knowing exactly what to do in the both scenarios are very good. You definitely don't wanna get hit by the flare, as Beaver said, with the getting the different direction, and also the since you're so low on HP, you don't want to get hit by the flame, so that doesn't push you anywhere. That just sends you straight up in the air. You die,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
can be utilized, but you know that's not something you want to go for.
Goed werk, partner. Is er nog
Didde
tijd om
here
Octavio's
wrapping up
concert te zien?
We liggen op schema.
the bombing section in the basement. It's a pretty tricky section. Very awkward at times. There's all the spinning platforms. You know, and guards start spawning, and Bentley's bombs can be tricky and
Zouden we echt
awkward
bij
to
hem op
try
het
to use
podium
like
laten?
super quickly and under pressure. But I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah.
So now he's into a lengthy cutscene and the iconic singing mini game.
Yeah, you also have in the bombing section, I believe the bombs can take out bombs without actually affecting the pumps, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, you got to be careful to not waste bombs because I think there are like I don't know if it's invulnerable for some of them or what, but you can't just like stand there and like spam the bomb and it will just die. You know, like you gotta revisit it.
Yeah.
And give it another bomb. So Ice in here using 2 bombs, and then he throws a trigger bomb as the final one. Trigger bomb is nice because then you can relocate and have it detonate from where you're further away. The guards spawn with each tar pump that you kill. So by spacing out the tar pumps, he's actually like also delaying the spawning of guards.
Also Bentley, shout out for the beautiful singing here. As Ostrava has pointed out in the chat, any X-Smashers during the opera? That I think that's his standard one. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting here to see if he goes for it. No, of course, downsides to going for it since it's the last input. But yeah, Bentley here, crushing it.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah. Rivals Octavio, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, Bentley did promise to sing him under the table, and I think, you know, I think he's living up to that.
Yeah. Have you ever actually attended an opera?
I have not attended an opera.
I actually have, incredibly enough.
Really?
Very, very random occurrence. Mom of a friend was just like, hey, would you like to go to the opera for free? And I was like, fuck it, let's go. Went there, you know, the highs was, oh, there we go, look at this. Perfect, Bentley, thank you. But yeah, went in there, you know, the high society of where I live, all were there, you know, the big celebs and stuff like that. You know, drinking and partying, some of them very drunk. Very funny to see. You know, when you see them on TV and stuff, they're all like so professional. Went into the opera, sat down, almost fell asleep. It was a really riveting experience.
Wow.
Would highly recommend for anyone. Insomnia cure, if you will.
Criminele vluchten naar het oosten. Alle
Very good.
eenheden verzamelen.
Begrijpbaar.
Sorry, Cooper. Dit
Yeah.
keer heb ik je omsingeld.
So here we have Carmelita slightly tilted, and now into another boating section. This one is, I would say, slightly easier because there is less hindrances in the way.
Dan hebben we hem.
Generally just Octavio's bombs and like a few small boats here and there.
But
don't know how-
the canal is a lot narrower here.
Yes.
I believe, at least.
Yeah, I would say so.
And if it isn't narrower, then maybe it's just the design of his attacks that makes it feel that way. But regardless, it's definitely a unique section
I think a lot of
compared
the parts
to
are
Canal
narrower.
Chase.
Because like in the
Yeah.
canal chase, the original one, you can have three of the pier objects in a row. They might be enlarged for this section, but I think it is wider, like by like almost like a whole like pier size. Just trying to use American units here. But yeah, so about 3 piers in size. Is it a pier or dock?
I don't know what a pier is. Oh, a dock? Yeah.
Yeah, like the wooden like part you walk on to get onto the boats, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that's a dock. A pier
Yeah.
refers to like
the long one, the Ferris wheel and stuff like that. You know, Santa Monica, shout out.
yeah, pier is like a big,
Vond je dat cool?
it's like a really long like man-made land mass that like blocks water
Yeah,
to like protect like people like dock their ships there where it's like safe from the big waves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Murray.
For people in chat, more relatable units would be it's about 4 washing machines in size in the first canal chase, and now it's about 2.5 in the next one, approximately. Just so we have some point of reference there.
Het zal zo helder worden. Echt waar. Pak hem dan
But
maar.
Je hebt gelijk
oh yeah.
dat je bang bent, nijlpaard. Had
We
je
can
ook
see
niet dood
Turk
moeten zijn.
getting ready.
Help!
With the slide 2 episode 3
Ik flos mijn tanden met jouw ruggengraat.
as Didde enters the boss fight as the Murray returns.
De Murray is terug.
The Murray is Teruk or something. He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so back.
Now in this Octavio boss fight, the goal is to thunderflop on Octavio in such a way that we actually like deal multiple normal hits of damage at once. In order to get a knockback much quicker than we would if we were to just punch him normally. But it can be really hard because Octavio's got some strong attacks.
Yeah, also Octavio's hat is a fraud. It's really only the middle point where you can land on properly, I believe. I don't think you can land on like the tip of the hat and stuff like that. Also, shout out Murray going for a Ricky roll there, or Didde going for a Ricky roll. Very nice. So now, 2 different cutscenes here. Oh. Oh no, he blew up the building again. That's devastating for the Venice population. Hopefully everyone made it out in time. Also, Octavio starts to sing here with his opera. Slightly more deadly than the first opera we saw from Octavio. Didde on pretty fine health here. If he's unlucky with like the ends of the opera cycles or something like that, it can be a little bit difficult. Also depends how. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Octavio's position here is not good. Okay, he moved. That's good. So he gets to start the second cycle here, and boom, Didde finishes out, and then Turk is back in the game. Now it's Turk's time. GG's Didde. Well played.
GG's.
ACES now starting the first phase of Octavio. See, it seems like he's going for a more safe approach, potentially. Yeah, seems like Alap was also ready at the wheel when Icing comes with the what's it called in English? The stick.
The tar?
No, this in the race, you know, in the real life, you know, when they pass the stick over.
Oh, the baton.
The baton, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We just call it like basically, well, the word stafette is like when 2 people or more are running in like one, like basically that whole thing, and we call it just a stick. So the co-op stick. Yes, there we go. Now everyone at home understands what we're talking about.
Yeah, one thing that is, you know, there's a lot of stuff in speedrunning that we do very, very differently than casual play, and there's you know, most places there's like completely different things that we're paying attention to and looking for. But one thing about this Octavio boss fight is that you're just completely at the mercy of the tar, just like you are with casual play. Because Octavio is just, he's like hard-coded to be, you know, unhittable.
Yeah.
He's not in the tar.
Maybe in the future we... Well, oh, wait, there's actually... I was gonna say in the future we might find something for it. But there is the glitch where Octavio is in constant tar, right? I believe?
Yeah, you know, that rings a bell. I'm not super familiar with that, but...
I think it's happened to a few runners. I think it happened to me like years ago. It's essentially just where I believe it might be like Octavio enters the area as you hit the tar or something like that. And it just causes him to constantly be in the tar animation, so you can hit him at all times.
GG's Icing.
GG's. Oh, that's a quick switch on Alapo right there.
So both teams now into the final episode, which is Slide 2, Episode 3. Turk already into the second segment. He's going to be trying to free the elephant here. Now, Slide 2, Episode 3 will be the first episode we've seen here today where we have a lot of gadget usage. Sly 2 had its gadget revolution, kind of the soonest, I would say. Wouldn't you say
Yeah.
also? Out of the 3 later games. With Sly movement, we have a, a strong reliance on stealth slide, which causes Sly to, just move faster in pretty much every scenario. Um, and it gives us the opportunity for some really fast and also really fun and cool movement.
Yeah. Stealth slide often also paired up with glitch high jump, which is, something that you don't unlock. It's just where you jump and you hit square to attack at the same time. So X and square at the same time. Frame perfect, I hear.
Yeah, you're talking about a square boost, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Ignore me. But yeah,
glitch
square
high
boost.
jump. We also use glitch high jumping though, which is essentially a triple jump. Um, Now this is interesting because I'm getting to explain the glitch high jump in the presence of the person who taught me what it was. So shout out to Augie for teaching so many of us the game. But you abuse the game's charge attack, which can even activate in midair. So you hold square and then press X 3 times, and that third X input will be your third jump, and it activates at the it happens at the time when your charge attack goes off invisibly in midair. Gives us a, a pretty significant amount of extra unintended height, and pretty much completely breaks the game. We abuse that constantly. You can see Turk doing it to get some extra height onto that vine, and then here again to take an unintended route.
Yeah, that's more of a. So that is the glitch high jump movement, but Turk didn't fully glitch high jump. He skipped the last jump, I believe, or the second jump, just to kind of get more distance. Because Slime will like, I don't know, it's almost like he stutters a bit once the charge animation stops and you get the ground state. So you basically save up a jump there, so you can get some distance, which is also one of the things with glitch high jump. It's both height, but also you can cover more distance with it. Also, shout out to the Crash community, because that name is stolen like crazy from the Crash community, where they have the glitch high. Yeah, very old trick. Almost a little bit surprised how early they found glitch high jump. Believe it was probably like almost at the beginning of speedrunning this, which was probably like 2015, 14, something like that. Not quite sure on the date when glitch high jump was found. I don't think anyone is at this point. So yeah.
So Turk into water bug run, as Alapo moves through collecting the spice plants for the elephant. We do have about a gap of about 2.5 minutes here between the two teams. So the Bombers have a relatively comfortable lead, but this is a difficult episode. So anything can happen. There's definitely a number of choking opportunities. Leading Rajan being a big one. It's a pretty infamous job for both
Yeah.
casual players and speedrunners alike. And then we also have a really tough boss fight in this episode as well, coming much later.
Yeah. It's one of those parts where speedrunning really helps if you do play the game casually. Because when you play casually, you kind of just hope and pray that you don't get spotted by any guards. But we have many tricks and many like aces up our sleeve to make that not be a bad idea or bad thing to happen. Even you lose time, but you're a casual player. It is very nice knowing like kind of how to play the game in. I was gonna say the optimal fashion, but more in the, I can say, knowing the ins and outs of the game. Also, using some of these strats in your casual playthrough can be pretty fun. Especially glitch high jump to get to places you normally wouldn't be able to get to. Yeah, there's a lot of people that has commented that they had a very fun experience learning glitch high jump or doing glitch high jumps. So now we see Bentley going for Spice Grinder bypass, I believe it's called.
It's not called that, but yeah. It's a pretty significant shortcut up to that bridge. Saves quite a bit of time. The hub in episode 3 and other episodes, but this is just one example for Bentley and Murray. It's pretty rough in terms of verticality, and Sly can handle it easily with his various thief moves, but for Bentley, we rely on that exploit to gain our height back to get to the bridge, and then with Murray later, we'll make use of turnbuckle launch, which is essentially like just a really big jump.
Yeah.
Which is a gadget.
Turk hitting it first try, not like a little bit safe on, like how can I say it? Taking his time, setting it up properly. Very nice. Got it first try, very clean. That's very nice. That's definitely gonna help them like keep the lead going through here. The Roshan cuts and skip is not a particularly, how can I say, high level difficulty trick, but you need to you need to know what you're doing, and you also need to have practiced it to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and at least nowadays, because it has changed. The modern setup for it is really incredible compared to what we were doing before.
Yeah.
The skip has become so much easier, thanks to the work done by Hexu.
Also, Turk got the animation skip in the end. Very nice. Now, yet another bypass here.
Very clean.
Very nice.
So since we didn't explain it the first time around,
Oh,
darn.
well, now you get to see the both parts. So essentially, what you do there is that you open the TS menu to buffer the inputs, so that you can open the, I believe it's you drop bomb and you open the select menu at the same time.
Yeah, for whatever reason, if you press select and triangle on the same frame when Bentley is midair in this trigger and in others, you can just like the game just lets you enter the trigger and it doesn't activate the job in doing so. So then you can just set your position in the trigger, and then throw a trigger bomb that will detonate and hurt Rajan. And you fall in water, and since you stood in the trigger, you then land back in it and start the job at the same time, and it skips the cutscene because you're not allowed to box with Rajan in this job, unfortunately. Although that would be pretty cool if this was like a combat job instead with Bentley's little arms.
Yeah, Bentley like to whack people with the crossbow. Well, I guess it's not that different from Sly whacking them with a solid metal cane. But you know, Murray keeps it real with the fisticuffs. Just go straight in there. But yeah, as said in the chat now, there's a really good tutorial for this trick. Generally, I think in the Sly community, for the tricks that are kind of more advanced than, how can I say, intuitive, kind of, there will be like good tutorials on it. That's something we, at least I in the Sly community, takes pride of, knowing that we do have great tutorials and resources for new runners. Let's see here. Here comes the animation. Nice. Both players skip the animation. So the job itself, the cut and skip doesn't change the job, except Roshan's spawning position changes a tiny bit. But generally it will be more or less the same throughout the job, except that you have to watch the cutscene.
Well, and the other thing is that Sly 2 does a full reload for job fails, which Sly 3 does not do. So when it does the full reload, it completely resets all the guards and everything. So in the case of leading Rajan, where we're trying to like lead Rajan, which is not super difficult, but can be made very difficult and very scary quickly if we encounter a guard when we don't want to.
Yeah.
So resetting the spawns makes it very consistent and reliable. In Slide 2 and 3, we make use of GSM, which guard spawn manipulation, which we see on Alapo's gameplay right now. Guard spawn in the direction of the camera, in the direction that the camera is facing, so we can use that to control the guard spawns to prevent bad guards from spawning.
Yeah. By bad guards, Beaver means unoptimal guards that might ruin or get in our way, rather.
Correct.
All the guards are bad inherently.
Turk into Spice Grinder, which is very scary and difficult split. I would assume that he'll take this pretty safe, since his team is benefiting from the lead that they've accumulated. Now this job doesn't have any checkpoints, so he'll have to be he'll have to be careful to avoid a death, because this is definitely a key point where you can lose a large sum of time all at once.
Yeah. Also something we didn't mention in the while shooting the dam, rest in peace, Beaver's Dam. The runner, which now you just saw Lapo finish it, will do a combination of holding, spamming, and releasing to not overcharge the meter, but keep firing basically at all times. If done correctly, you will get something similar like a Lapo right now, where you basically almost cannot hear that he stopped shooting, which is very nice. Does save a little bit of time in what would otherwise kind of, well, for casuals it wouldn't be an auto scroller, but for speedrunners before that it was essentially just kind of shoot to a point, stop, shoot to a point, stop, and then repeat that throughout until the dam is broken.
Turk does have to be really careful here. My goodness, that was about as dangerous as he could have possibly made it, but he lived. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Holy, that was terrifying. But he's alive. He's good. He's just gotta watch out for these spotlights. When you're in the barrel, you just insta die if you touch any damage sources. So his health at this point doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's really just these two next laser gates kind of that he has to be wary of, and then I believe the next guard on top here, unless he killed that guard too. I don't remember. Don't see the flashlight.
Yeah, he killed him.
Well, then it's just free gaming. Fun thing though, that sadly I noticed, if you go too close to the wheel is also a damage source and can break the barrel. And I don't even think that actually continues the job. You fail the job. Especially if you hit it from like an angle where you're not fully into the spice. So, yeah.
Yeah. Turk here will be going to Nila's Secret, which is an auto scroller for the first section, where we just follow Nila, much like is also done in episode 1.
Primarily used as a coin
Unfortunately,
farming
Alapo
area.
misses that square boost across the gap, but he knows the backup.
Oh, that's a nice backup. Oh, how did he not get spotted there? Oh,
And
He's
some
taking the guard for a
great,
ride.
great use of juggling there. I really like it.
A little bit
He's in a
unlucky with the first shot.
pretty
there.
good spot. Now the nice thing about juggling guards in Slide 2 is that you do accumulate damage as you do that. So so that guard was left with just one health. And Alapo could just swing a single time and kill him, even though he had just juggled him all the way. Now the other nice thing is that you can't kill a guard like that. Like you can't juggle a guard to death. So you can juggle him infinitely for as long as you want, wherever you want, and then just hit him once with square and he'll die. So there's great opportunity for controlling the guard
반드시 향신료 가루로 가득 찬
with that.
저 그릇 안에 넣도록 해. 이게 무슨 일이야? 향신료 생산량이 떨어지고 있는
So yeah, I got a phone call from the analyst saying that Arapo has made up about 30 seconds. So now the Sabres are only 2 minutes behind the Bombers. So still a very substantial lead. This far in, I would be inclined to say that we kind of need to have a mishap from the Bombers for the Sabres to be able to catch up. Didde seems to be comfortable, at least enough comfortable in the level to be able to keep up this pace.
또 만났군요.
Yeah, anything can happen. We'll just have to wait and see. This section here and really this job should be pretty much to a degree a cakewalk. But later we have the infamous rock incident that can happen. And you know, as the creator of the disaster, I guess, I'm inclined to kind of hope for it. It would be kind of funny, but I also don't hope for it because I don't want to ruin the one team's lead here. But you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as an experienced Slide 2 runner, you know, one of the many lessons I've learned is that you are never safe. There are so many places to lose time in Slide 2. There's so much weird stuff that can happen. You gotta be on the lookout everywhere. I used to talk about a thing. I'm the Slide 2 demon. The demon that I believe lives inside the game and just screws you over sometimes. So you know there's some exchanges that have to be made with the demon sometimes to to pay your rent. But yeah, hopefully the Bombers can finish up smoothly.
Seems like Nila's secret went pretty much without issue. There's some things with the chase as well, with the distance away from Nila. Kind of want to stay far enough away that she doesn't turn around to look at you, but not far away enough that she stops / you fail the job. So it is kind of like like an active managed job here, like restraining yourself so that you don't run that much, don't use stealth slide that much. It's very nice, but it's also just something to think about. Now heading into Rip of the Ruby for Didde here. Very nice, got up there with the slope jump.
Now slope jumping is very similar to glitch high jumping in the sense that you're like activating the charge attack in like an unintended spot. But in this case, we're just using it on like sloped ground, which is essentially a wall, more so than it is ground, but on a slope. And once again, we basically garner an extra jump and are able to take that unintended route there that saves a huge amount of time actually, because the route here or the map here, like we discussed earlier, is so vertical and there's like limited options for getting to certain places.
Yeah, so Turk is now going to go for the cutscene skip here and hits it very nicely. It's as long as you have you know, all your teeth in your mouth, it's a very easy trick. But you, I believe you can go for it with a normal double jump as well, which is slightly faster given that you have less height to go off of, but also more dangerous because of the trigger area. Also, respect the Bentley here. Very nice Turk. You gotta always respect the Bentley here. Used to be a meme back in the day that you just kind of stood to the side and said Bentley or respect the Bentley when he walked past you. Until someone actually didn't respect Bentley. Bentley run into Murray near a ledge, and Murray proxies away and fails the job. So yeah, definitely respect the fucking Bentley, please. Also, Alapo here getting the slope jumps very nicely.
Beautiful.
Something that we haven't talked about that the game would have told you if it wasn't in Korean. Many people here don't really know Korean, I think. They say that the ruby is very fragile, which is why Murray has to put them on these pillow kind of softening spots where the Bentley puts up. However, when Sly whacks the shit out of it with his cane and it falls down like 3 meters, they don't care. So I guess after that it might be fragile. I don't know.
It's probably fragile because Sly has well, I guess you know, the buyer does say that it's flawless.
Which is interesting, but you know. Okay, no rock for Team Bombers here. Now we see Alapo's gonna go for the same thing. He does a little bit different setup here. To go from the top near the door entrance there. A little bit of a straighter angle. To near flawless. Thank you, chat. AK first.
So Turk here now into the final job. He also is coming up on his final load of the run, which is significant in slide 2. For a reason that I guess I'll wait until the load finishes to explain, because I don't want to be responsible for jinxing it.
Yeah, so we have confirmed in chat that Alapo did not respect Bentley. That can be the output of that, the result of that can be the rock. Shout out Dwayne. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Hopefully Alapo doesn't get the rock. See here. So the runners have just like a very slight difference in route here. Essentially, you just want a GSM. You are kept by Bentley being slow walking to the next pillow area. You just kind of cheated there by just walking over there. But yeah, don't worry about it. So let's see now. Here comes the infamous area. Running there is good.
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, no problems there. Smooth as sailing. Not even close. Oh, you know, when you see the goat pushing Murray, that's when you know it's a clean one right there. God damn it! Oh, I think my heart skipped like 3 beats there. But yeah, that we're good. We're good. Very nice job by Lapo and Team Sabres. Turk now shooting for his life. This shooting seems simple, but the tower is rocking back and forth, and and due to that, the barrels kind of seem to like be changing directions they go in. But yeah, it's basically just gotta have, you know, as we say in Norwegian, gotta have your tongue straight in the mouth. That's a direct translation, and yeah, it's just
Yeah,
opening the mouth again.
the turret section is sort of a matter. It's like controlled spraying, because it is a bit of spray and pray, but you do still have to be aiming because you have you know, limited heat meter. So you kind of want to like scatter your shots around each firebomb, and it's just sort of, you know, once your aim is, once you trust your aim enough, you kind of trust that one of them will hit. You know.
저 경비원들부터 처리해.
Now, fun fact, originally in the game, we get some Fist of Flames usage there from Alapo. Very, very nice. Originally, in the development of Sly 2, these fire bombs were parachuting monkeys, which is why these bombs are on parachutes rather than like just, you know, straight, you know, dropping down on Murray and killing him quickly. Because they just replaced the fire bombs, or they just replaced the monkeys with fire bombs. I think it's possible they did that because shooting paratroopers out of the sky is like, you know, perhaps too violent for this game. Might feel weird.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know, the Sly games have some very violent moments, even for a 3+ PG rating. But you know, it's it might be a good idea. You probably don't want to shoot peeps in parachutes. It's kind of bad. Also, I wonder how that would like, because you
It's
know,
a
you
war
would.
crime, actually.
True, but you would kind of, how can I say, like in the job order, if that were to happen, I think like it would probably insta-fail you still, but I just wondered, like, it doesn't make as much sense as like flaming barrels dropping down to give you an insta-fail, you know?
Yeah. So Turk here now going for, oh no, he's not going for MSA jump. He's going for opting for the traditional strat where you just skip the first half of those spikes and then just navigate pretty normally through the rest of them. And he's now reached the boss fight. So the last bit of gameplay here for the Bombers. So now the Rajan fight is an infamous choke point in the speedrunning community. There is the Rajan choke emote and phrase. You know, originating from runners losing runs here and dying here. In Sly 2 runs, you know, for all of time since the beginning. But Turk here so far, he was doing all right. I think he's taking a little bit more damage now than he would have liked.
I think
But
he
certainly
is.
now,
It seems like Turk might
playing
be
with fire.
he might be a little bit unsure how hard he wanna go. So if you wanna go for the thunderflop strats or the normal just hit and jump strats. Hit and
Yeah.
jump would be, you know, depending on how comfortable you are with the thunderflop strats, it would be safer. But the health here is not very good.
I think he's got to kill 2, maybe even 3 guards to get a health there. I think this next guard will drop a health there.
I think he might try and go and tank for it. Oh, this is very close. Oh no. Oh, this is very, very dangerous. Oh. There was a health that
He
dropped
should
there.
go
Don't
get that. He should go get that. Yeah.
Very careful so you don't hit the fence there. It can be very
Yeah,
dangerous.
because you can. Well, and the camera here is fixed. And
No.
oh no, the last moment Rajan choke.
Oh no.
Incredible.
Oh, that is
Let's
so sad.
pray he doesn't.
Lapo can actually pull this back right now. This could be devastating. This could go down to who, right?
Now we can't tell if Turk has sound, but I'm trusting that he has sound. I guess here it actually wouldn't matter because he could finish the run.
Yeah, Alapo going
with
for
the
Fist
sound
of
lock.
Flame to be a little bit faster, and the heavier
Now
strats here.
Alapo is in the lead here. This is crazy. See, this is what we're saying. It's just fated to be.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm at the edge of my seat here. Alapo is pulling a lead right now. Turk is not
Alapo is
going for
pulling
the
a lead.
Thunderflop strats. This could actually be devastating for the Bombers. There is a chance Alapo could die here. Turk is a little bit lower HP. Alapo now has just a few hits left going on. Alapo taking a little bit more damage than he probably would like. Now going... Oh, he gets hit by the laser thing. That's a little bit slower,
He's
but
got
then
it,
he wins!
and they win.
Oh
And they
my
win.
god! Oh
Wow.
my god!
Holy
That
crap.
is insane. Okay. Holy shit. That is actually crazy. Oh, you know... I root
Even
for both
after we had the producers in our ear telling us at the beginning of the fight, we're not letting Alapo finish. You know, just let the race conclude. We're not letting Turk finish anymore because the race has just spun on its head in the final segment. Unbelievable. Unbelievable finish. Unbelievable race.
Sabres victory. Holy shit.
A shocking outcome.
It is something that I'm gonna be honest, did not expect it. A 2-minute lead going into the final there. That is actually crazy. And here we are soon getting... There we go. There are our runners.
Welcome.
Holy
Welcome,
shit.
Ison and Alapo.
Hello.
First
How are
off,
you?
congratulations.
Oh my. Yeah. How are you guys feeling right now?
What the fuck?
You should have heard our issue before. We were screaming.
Dude,
Yeah, what the fuck is right? I agree with you there. Did you anticipate that at all, or were you kind of just caught off guard by the end in the same way we were?
okay, so I don't know how to explain this, but basically, ACES said go, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up and play. And
Yeah.
I just kind of played. I didn't say anything, like, for a whole fucking 31 minutes. Like, then I said, like, okay, done. And he's like, we won. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay.
Because when
Dude.
Turk died, I didn't wanna tell him to jinx him or whatever, and then it just went, tell me when you're done.
Like, I
That's
literally
awesome.
locked in. That's it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's incredible right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the end fight. You use Fist of Flames in a combination with normal hits and also with Thunderflop strats. That is
Yes.
probably what got you the win there, due to Turk's sad mishap in the end with the Roshan choke. I don't know what to even say. It's.
All I wanna say, thanks for Remo telling me about that.
Yeah, actually.
Well, that is incredible.
I'm actually so sad that he's not here.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck.
Remo's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's gotta do everything he can. But yeah, through the match, just generally, there was a lot of times when the lead changed. Like, you know, like it's every time we do these events, it's always, oh, team 1 is leading, now team 2, and then back and forth. This, you know, obviously very unexpected that this would happen. I think even in our full documents on 24 pages didn't even say that this could happen. So this caught us off by a real surprise. Like, how was your, like, kind of the team spirit going through when the lead changed that much back and forth throughout the 3 episodes you played?
Well, I don't know, like, obviously, like, when the slide 3 ended, it was like, the lead for Bombers was huge, so it was like, kind of, I don't know how to say it. It was desperate, but
Yeah.
I guess miracles can happen, so just never give up. That's it.
Never give
like,
up.
Yeah, so when I was starting my run, I felt a lot of nerves that I somehow didn't have in the first one. So I just turned off the stream basically, so I had no idea where I was standing the whole time.
Yeah, That's definitely a good strategy. Ison, how have you felt your comfort level change from round 1 to now? Because I know that like you're relatively new to the game and everything.
Yeah. I am very fond of EP1, if that wasn't evident, but it has also been the one I've practiced the most. There's been some slip ups I would have quite liked to not have had, but yeah. Just get really nervous for this one.
Yeah, in episode 1 there, you did a different route compared to the other team. Was that planned, or did you select the wrong character there?
No, that was on purpose, much to Remo's dismay.
Okay.
But we talked about it before, and the main thing that changes is that the tarball cutscenes hit becomes less consistent, but otherwise it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Hit it though.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
I did, sure did. And I
Incredible.
also just somehow happened to get the ideal gas spawn.
yeah, it was very
I-
clean.
I can't complain. It was pretty scary. I accidentally flicked a bomb towards the guard I was luring, so that could have been really bad.
Well, a great showing from both of you guys as well as Remo. Congratulations again on your stunning victory.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So all I wanna
Appreciate
say is I wish I didn't misleading Russian cutscene skip, otherwise that would have been 30. Because it was 3101, so
Oh,
sad.
Also very clutch of Alapa to ask me if the 400 coins I thought were gathered during the run, because they very much were not. I was not very clear on the rules. I would have if he hadn't told me, I would have bought
Yeah, we would have been basically D-good. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, that was a very good spot.
Well, GG's to both of you. Thank you for chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for
no
having
problem.
us. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Okay. So, that was Sabres versus Bombers. Sabres pulling it off there in the end. In a stunning feat of gameplay right there. Right before we head out, remember, join the Discord. Shout out Sly Golds. Check our website, golds and everything. All that good stuff. Not gonna do super sell stuff here. Merch may be dropping soon. Who knows? There might be out yet already. Who knows? Alapo experience might be there for the taking. Ripe for the picking. However, this isn't the end without us shouting out the next match. The next match is Peacocks versus Vampires. Without all the time zone changes, it will happen 1 hour later than this match started today. So Central European time, it will be 6 p.m. So Peacocks versus Vipers.
It's
I'm on the
tomorrow, right?
Peacocks. It's tomorrow.
Yes.
We are going to absolutely destroy the Vampires. It's gonna be great. Hopefully. But yeah, I think that. Thank you, Beaver, for co-commentating with me.
Yeah, thank you, Augie, for co-commenting with me. Thanks to everybody for stopping by, hanging out, chatting. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a really great time. Also, shout out to analyst, producer, restreamer, a guy in the chair, Gandhi, for holding the reins and driving the car into this fantastic match. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace!
Peace out.